On the news, Kano government shot school where 5-year-old Anifa was killed. Gunmen abduct Biosec Commissioner Federal Otokito. And Oshimbajo seeks waiver for local COVID-19 vaccine production. We're glad to have you join us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The Kano State government has ordered the immediate closure of a private school, Noble Kids Academy, at Kwana, Dakata, in Nasarawa local government area of the state, where the body of an abducted girl, Hanifa Abubakar, was buried by the suspects. The State Commissioner for Education, Mohammed Kiru, announced the closure of the school in a statement after policemen discovered the corpse of the victim buried in the private school. The deceased, a 5-year-old girl, was allegedly abducted in December 2021, and abductors had demanded 6 million naira ransom. The police had said on investigation, Abdul Malik Tanko confessed that he kidnapped the victim and took her to his house, where he contacted her relatives and demanded the ransom. Bayelsa State Commissioner for Trade and Commerce, Otokito Federal Opamiola, has been kidnapped. Police authorities in the state confirmed Otokito's abduction on Friday in a statement barely a day after the incident took place. The commissioner was said to have been kidnapped by armed men at his residence at Otopoti, a riverine community in Ogbia local government area of the state. The police public relations officer in Bayelsa, Asmin Batwat, said the gunmen invaded the community at about 11 p.m. on Thursday, and after scaring people away, they proceeded to the commissioner's residence. He, however, showed that the commanders launched a manhunt for the gunmen to rescue the abducted commissioner and ensure his captors were arrested and brought to justice. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the alleged missing 178,459 arms and ammunition in the Nigeria Police Force as contained in the 2019 report of the Auditor General for the Federation. This followed the adoption of a motion on matters of urgent public importance by the Deputy Minority Leader, Toby Okechukwu, at the plenary on Thursday. While moving the motion, the lawmaker pointed out that the Audit of Arms Movement Registrar, monthly returns of arms and ammunition register, the Armory section, reviewed that a total number of lost firearms as of December 2018 stood at 178,459 pieces. On his part, the Deputy Speaker Hamed Idris Wasey said the issue of missing arms may not be limited to the police alone.
Intending with the motion that we passed before the exit of our house, of the committee constituted to look into the issue of those who are releasing criminals, and this is a very much related motion to it. I will have said in line with our rules to allow the police committee to report. We'll have a duplication of function.
Instead of queuing behind of the Auditor General's report of 2017, 2018, 20. This should be brought up to speed.
Since we've already set up an ad hoc committee, whether erroneously or not, I don't know, let them continue or bring a motion to rescind that decision. I think that's the best procedure, the way to go about it.
The National Economic Council (NEC) says it is yet to send in its recommendations on the issue of fuel subsidy removal. The meeting, which was presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, has in attendance the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his counterpart Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. The council also asked Nigerians to wait till June for a decision to be reached on the removal of fuel subsidy. More details in this report. The issue of fuel subsidy removal formed part of the discussions at the first National Economic Council meeting for the year 2022, which was presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Fielding questions from State House correspondents after the end of the NEC meeting, the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki disclosed that the council is yet to take a decision on the issue of fuel subsidy removal as deliberations are still ongoing.
There was an ad hoc committee which was set up by NEC, headed by Governor El-Rufai, that included members of the executive arm of government that worked on recommendations as to what we should do about the cost of PMS locally, because as you realize, as has been told us, the cost of PMS in Nigeria today is about 162 naira for a liter, whereas every other country surrounding Nigeria is selling the same product at more than 100% of the cost in Nigeria.
Governor Obaseki noted that 2.1 trillion naira was spent last year on fuel subsidy payment. The payment, he said, could have been used to fund other development efforts.
When NEC looked at some of the analysis last year, we then realized that less than 1/3 of the states of this country consume 2/3 of the subsidy. So the issue of equity also came up. All of these findings were presented to NEC, and NEC has had several deliberations, and the deliberations are still ongoing.
On his part, the Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule revealed that government's plans on the removal of fuel subsidy would be known by June this year, and that the application of the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) would also kick off at the same time.
All of us Nigerians know that there is now the Petroleum Industry Act, and NNPC has now become, a limited liability company. So NNPC will run differently. So if the Ministry of Finance, provides for 6 months, you probably can understand part of the reason for provision of 6 months is before NNPC fully takes off. And at that moment, that's when decisions will be made.
Also on the agenda of the National Economic Council was the launch of the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program. Folashade Ogrinde, TV360 News. With 23 days to the Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission has revealed that 593 out of the 282 polling units in the capital city did not have voters' card. The chairman of the commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this at the first regular quarterly meeting with the media in Abuja, while he attributed the worrying development to the failure by voters to take advantage of the expansion of access to transfer to new polling units. He solicited the support of the media in sensitizing the public.
I want to draw your attention to the distribution of voters to polling units in the Federal Capital Territory, particularly the fact that 593 out of 2,822 of the total, that is 21% of these polling units, do not have voters. This is because voters failed to take advantage of the expansion of access to transfer to these new polling units. The Commission looks forward to the support of the media to encourage voters who wish to transfer from their present polling units to the new ones created as part of the Commission's expansion of voter access to polling units across the country. After all, your support was crucial to the success of the expansion of voters' access to the polling units for the first time in 25 years since the original delimitation in 1996.
As members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, let me assure you of one fact. We'll continue to support INEC. Our support for INEC is not only for INEC. Our support for INEC is support for democracy and the development of our nation. We believe in Nigeria and we continue to believe in this country. We will do everything possible to ensure the sustenance of our democratic values at every point in time.
Convener of the Lagos for Lagos movement, Abdulaziz Olajide, popularly known as Jandor, has officially declared a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The official declaration took place at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. The event was also held to announce Adediran's intention to run for the governor of Lagos State in the 2023 general elections. And still on politics, women from all the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria under the aegis of National Women's Support Group have endorsed Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello as their preferred choice for Nigeria's #1 seat come 2023. The group will pay Yahaya Bello a solidarity visit in Abuja, appeal to the governor to heed to their call and run for president. The leader and spokesperson of the group, Marian Janjaku, while rolling out some of the achievements of Governor Bello, explained that there was no better choice to take over the nation's #1 seat from President Muhammadu Buhari than the governor of Kogi State.
We know there's a clause that says women should be given 35% of every political appointment in every setting. You have surpassed that. We Nigerian women, I stand to speak on behalf of so many support groups of women in Nigeria that we are solidly behind you. As a unifying factor of this country, from what we have seen in your cabinet, we know the sky is your limit. It's the limit of every Nigerian. Every Nigerian has its hope on you. Sir, please, we are calling you out. We want you to please heed to our call to contest for the presidency of this country.
What you're witnessing is action rather than talk. So in Kogi State, we partner with women, and that is why we are having the result we are having today. We want the job of Nigeria to get done, then we shall partner with women in 2023. Our declaration will not exceed March by the grace of God. Let's look for a great march in the month of March that will march us towards victory by the special grace of God in 2023.
Despite the Disability Rights Act signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019, persons living with disability are often the target of discrimination. At the event to mark the 3rd anniversary of the passage of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act in Abuja, stakeholders are worried over the increased discrimination. Speaking at the event, the Executive Director, Center for Citizens with Disability, David Anyale, said the lack of policy framework is a bottleneck in the full implementation of the Disabilities Act.
Many agencies do not have policy on how their program activities integrate people with disabilities. And when there is no policy framework, you discover that they will struggle in terms of their role and responsibility in responding to the needs of people with disabilities vis-a-vis the services they render. The only agency we can boldly speak that have done the needful in promoting issue of people with disabilities in this country is INEC. The Independent National Electoral Commission have developed a framework on inclusion and access for people with disabilities in this country, and that is guiding their response to elections in this country. That is what we expect every minister and department agencies to do.
We are advocating the person with disability to be in a position of the National Assembly, to consider for the position of the governor in the State Assembly, commissioner and other things. This is the position that we want person with disability to contest, and we are going there by the instrument of the that is going around there. We have a political instrument, we have a legal framework for the person with disability to participate. And by the grace of God, person with disability in 2023, we call for them to come and participate fully.
I want to appeal today to come out to join any party they want, any party they have in their minds to join. There is I want to tell you, nobody can differentiate the vote of persons with disability. So we only have one vote. Should please and please to get their voters card. That is the first thing to do. When you have your vote, you are a politician.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Ghana launches investigation into blast that killed at least 13. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Kano State government has ordered the immediate closure of a private school, Noble Kids Academy at Guana, Dakata in Nasarawa local government area of the state, where the body of an abducted girl, Hanifa Abubakar, was buried by the suspects. The State Commissioner for Education, Mohammed Kiru, announced the closure of the school in a statement after policemen discovered the corpse of the victim buried in the private school. We also told you that the Bayelsa State Commissioner for Trade and Commerce, Otokito Federal Opamiola, has been kidnapped. The commissioner was said to have been kidnapped by armed men at his residence at Otopoti, a riverine community in Ogria local government area of the state. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are at TV360 Online. Nigeria on Thursday witnessed a decline in number of fresh COVID-19 cases. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) recorded 123 confirmed infection cases across 12 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, bringing the total confirmed infection in the country to 251,694, according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC). Edo State topped the infection chart with 38 cases, followed by Osun and Rivers with 25 and 22 cases respectively. The death toll from the virus keeps rising as 6 persons died, raising the fatality toll to 3,123. Meanwhile, 175 people were discharged after they recovered from the infection. With the new confirmed cases, Nigeria now has a total number of 251,694 infections, while 225,455 persons have recovered so far. Well, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called for a waiver on the intellectual property rights to allow African countries to produce COVID-19 vaccines to contain the spread of the virus and improve protection for Nigerians and Africans. Osinbajo made the call on Friday when delivering a special address virtually at the ongoing World Economic Forum in Davos. The Vice President lamented that less than 10% of African countries had vaccinated 40% of their population. He also warned that there would be a relatively slow rollout of vaccination in Africa due to resource constraints. Well, we'll take a breather here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us. Well, up next is business news with Mary Kanu. Over to you, Mary.
Well, thank you, Folashade. And now in business, the federal government has called on the Nigerian private sector to maximize the African Continental Free Trade Agreement AfCFTA. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Niya Adebayo, made the call at the lighting of the Africa Trade Torch organized by the African Business Council in Cairo, Egypt. Describing the private sector as the engine of the African economy, Adebayo, who appealed to governments to assume the important role of promoting trade development, also said the participation of the private sector would be vital in birthing the goals of the AfCFTA. We'll take a break and return with a review of the stock market. The dominance of the bull continued unabated for the fourth consecutive session as the all-share index is getting close to the 46,000 level, and today that made investors over 36 billion naira richer. You know the bull goes where the money goes. Well, let's see details of the gains. A good outing by Nigeria Flour Mills and Courtville, which added a combined 74 kobo to their share price, sustained the bullish sentiment. On the price movement chart, 21 stocks appreciated while 14 others constituted the losers chart. Now, speaking about losers, Regalings and Sovereign Trust, both from the financial services sector, topped the losers chart with 3 kobo losses. The activity chart shows that at the close of trading, over 281 million volumes of shares were traded in 3,739 deals. Well, we can call it a good trading week, but what will the coming week bring? Who knows? We'll let investors decide. Even out to some selected global stocks, the FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei and all trading in the reds as the stock of top production company Netflix crashed at over 22%. The price of Bitcoin also took a dive, which affected global stocks, and that's why FTSE is trading down at 1.46%, Dow Jones at 0.076% and Nikkei at 0.90%. Well, that's the latest in stock market review. For Lashade, over to you.
Many thanks, Mary. And on the foreign scene, Ghana's government has said an investigation is ongoing to uncover the cause of massive blast involving a truck transporting mining explosives that killed at least 13 people and wounded dozens more. The explosion on Thursday destroyed scores of homes and left a huge crater with wreckage strewn across the ground in the village of Apeta, few kilometers west of the capital, Accra. Authorities said the initial investigation indicated the truck collided with a motorbike and another vehicle, triggering the blast. Reacting to the incident in a television broadcast, Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo called it a sad, unfortunate and tragic incident and expressed his condolences to the families of the deceased. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Reality TV star and former Big Brother Naija housemate Bisola Ayeola has got social media talking as she releases jaw-dropping pictures on Instagram to celebrate her 36th birthday. The reality TV star posted the pictures, which could pass for the cover of any fashion magazine, on Friday with the caption, "This is 36, thank you Lord." Bisola is a Nigerian actress and singer who participated in the Big Brother Naija reality show in 2017 and became the first runner-up. Since then, she has been gracing our screens with her talents in the movie industry. In 2017, she won the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards. Happy birthday to the beautiful Bisola. Nigeria starboy Wizkid seems not to be relenting in putting the country on the map. This is as Wizkid's True Love is set to officially crack urban radio in the United States on February 1, 2022. This comes following the lofty success of his Grammy-nominated Essence, which has since gone back up into the top 30 of the Billboard Hot 100. The success of True Love also comes perfectly timed for Valentine's Day. According to reports, the record was meant to be flagship single for his Made in Lagos album, till Essence distinguished itself and found incredible success. That's all we have for you an entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment and now to sports, Nigeria is set to play Tunisia on Sunday in the second round of the Africa Cup of Nations being held in Cameroon. Tunisia will lost to Gambia 1-0 on Thursday, booked their place to the knockout phase as one of the 4 third-place countries. On the other hand, the Super Eagles topped their group, claiming the maximum 9 points after winning all 3 matches. Meanwhile, Egypt, who finished second in Nigeria's group, will have to step up and beat Ivory Coast for a place in the quarterfinals. Well, joining me now to discuss this further is sports analyst Mr. Eson Ludari. Thank you very much for joining us on News Now. Now, could you give us a little bit of prediction? How do you see the match playing out? And do you think the Super Eagles will maintain their winning streak?
Oh, you're putting me in a tight corner by making me to predict. Of course, if I want to predict, I want to be patriotic. I would say Nigeria will win. And this will actually be the 5th time Nigeria will be meeting Tunisia at the knockout stage of the African Cup of Nations. And the 4 times that we met previously, Nigeria won 3 and they lost only 1. And the only one we lost was via the penalty shootout. So if you take a look at history and what has also happened in this competition, in 2006, when we first had a 100% record, funny enough, in the first knockout stage, we met Tunisia and we defeated them 6-5 power penalties. I think history is going to repeat itself on Sunday, and I want to predict a Nigerian victory because we've been very impressive. Since we changed the Genotro away, I think we've seen how good the team can be under a better coach. And I think the sky is the limit for these players.
Now, in terms of formation now, how do you see the Tunisian team? Do you see them as a formidable group?
They've always been formidable. If you look at the FIFA ranking, they are above us. It's just that when it comes to a tournament like this, you need to put on your, you need to raise your game, so to say. But unfortunately, they've not done that so far. But this is the knockout stage, like I said earlier, and anything can happen. For me, it looks more of a 50-50 game. But if you look at our antecedent, maybe you can say, yes, we have a slight edge. Because we've not really defeated them like 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, even the few times that we've met. I think 2 of those games went to penalty shootouts. We won 1, they won 1. I think there was one that they walked away after we equalized. That was as early as the 42nd minute, if I'm not mistaken. I think that should be 2004. And the 4th one was just 3 years ago in Egypt, when Odeo Gallo scored in the 3rd minute, and that was the only goal of the game, and that gave us the bronze. So we've won 2 bronze medals, defeating the Tunisians. And we've qualified to the next round once, defeating the Tunisians. They've only won once. So I think everything is in our favor. They've not been able to raise their game so far, yes. But like I said earlier, at the knockout stage, just anything can happen. But we don't pray for that, anything to happen against Tunisia on Sunday.
We're certainly rooting for Team Nigeria, the Super Eagles. Well, Mr. Eson Oluwadare, thank you so much for joining us on News Now. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I'm Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.